Okay, some guy in thermodynamics said, for a substance to change state, okay, it's either going to require energy or it's going to give off energy.
Okay.
So that's like a technical, eh?
Yeah.
Sounds very important, eh? You understand what I'm saying? Let's take a special square of water.
Yes.
Okay? What happens to water when we give it energy?
Heat energy or just
Energy.
energy?
Yeah. I'm trying to get very technical, and then I'm going to bring it down to earth for you, because I need to get the fear away of refrigeration from you.
Mm-hmm.
So let's stay with technical. You give water energy.
Yes.
What happens to that water?
And it'll expand or go somewhere.
Yeah, it will not really expand. You put a geyser
Yes.
and you give it energy. What happens? Water warms up.
Yeah.
Okay, so it gets warmer and warmer and warmer. There will come a time that it changes state.
Mm-hmm.
And what is that state called?
Steam.
Steam. So, okay. So, all technical, but it's logical. Okay, you put energy into water, it will rise, okay, and it changes state to steam.
Yes.
What about if we take the energy away?
How do you take energy from water?
Eh? You see, you're thinking too technical.
Mm-hmm.
How do you take energy from water? You put it in a fucking freezer. Normal freezer.
Oh, and you make it ice.
And you make it ice.
Oh.
Okay, so yeah, we started all very technical. Yeah, substance to change state. It's going to give off or exact energy and a change state.
Yes.
Logically, you take water, you give it energy, it becomes steam. You take water, you take away energy, it becomes ice.
Yes.
Okay, but at the same time, if you take ice and you give it energy, it becomes water, and you carry on giving it energy, it becomes steam.
Yes.
That is the principle of refrigeration. That's it. God, sweet and simple.
Okay.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
So,
Why do you sweat? Okay, let's get a couple of fallacies out the way first. That water your body releases is as hot as your body.
yes, it'll be
Yes.
your body.
So you go climb into a hot bath and see if it cools you down.
No, I don't believe that.
Okay, so that one doesn't work.
No.
So let's fly another one here. Okay? Give me another idea. Why do you sweat?
Why do you sweat?
Uh-huh. We go for a run and we start sweating.
Yes.
I mean, why sweat? Why give off water? We need the water in our once, otherwise we get dehydrated.
Well, your body needs to regulate the temperature so that
Okay, so how does it regulate the temperature? That's the
needs to
question.
release the water. So the water cools you down faster with the air.
Yeah, but how does the water cool you down?
It becomes colder.
Eh?
Doesn't keep it once it's outside.
What's this principle?
Principle?
This principle we spoke about here.
That is, if you add energy or take away energy.
Okay, so open the gas, put your hand in front of the gas, and do like this. And all you get is gas. Cool wind blowing past you, that's the greatest coldness you get, okay? Rotate it. Now you've got, over here we had the liquid lying at the bottom. Now we rotate it upside down, we've got the liquid lying at the bottom here next to the valve. If we open the valve now, you put your hand in front of that gas and it's bloody cold, it's freezing cold. Okay, that will freeze you. Why does it do? It does it because when the air comes out, it's not doing nothing. But when the gas comes out, the gas expands and it needs energy, so it draws energy from my hand. And that is what refrigeration is. Now it comes out the same bottle, just like the water's coming out the same body. I mean, the first was slightly cool, and the second one you had the mutters about the coldness.
Yeah.
Why?
I have no idea.
Yeah, back to you. For a substance to change state, needs energy or gives off energy. Okay. So, if we got ice, okay, and we want to change it to water, we've got to give it energy.
Yes.
If we got water and we want to change it to steam, we've got to give it energy.
Yes.
But if we want steam, we've got steam and we want to change it to water, we've got to change it. Now, when you sweat, you're sweating water.
Yes.
You do.
Yes.
That water's the same temperature in your body. It's not going to work. When I blew out gas here, the gas itself, it was cool because it's been lying here all day, evening, and it's still nice and cool. Yeah. Didn't really make it cold. Okay.
Yes.
But when I turned it over, okay, and I blew out liquid,
Okay.
that liquid changed state to steam.
Yes.
But it can only change state to steam if it gets energy. So it took the energy out your hand, and you had the mutters because your hands were cold. Okay, let's get this right. We're still trying to work out why we sweat. Let's just draw our man here. Okay, and he's in a race, and he's running his backside off, and he's kicking up the dust here, and he's moving around with high speed. Okay, now this guy has got water running off of him. Sweat. So he's sweating around there. The problem is, we know that from every time they put that thing on you when you want to go to the shop in the old days, our body temperature is 34.7 degrees C. We know that. Okay? Now he's running along there, and his body temperature goes all the way up to 42 degrees C. Okay? That water coming out of his body, that water that we call his sweat, is at 42 degrees C, the same temperature. That water is not going to cool you down, no matter how much you think about it. No matter how fast you run, all you're going to do is heat yourself up more and more and more. That sweat is not going to cool you down. Okay, but with refrigeration technicians, so we're supposed to know that as the water runs down, it wets your shirt and it makes you wet. Okay, that wet is not going to cool you down. What is going to cool you down is this water evaporates. Okay, the water evaporates. But we all know that when water evaporates, we discussed it in our early lecture, it needs energy. It needs energy. Where's the water going to get the energy to evaporate? That's easy. Your body is hot. Your body is going to make that water evaporate. To get it to evaporate, that water is going to draw the energy out of your body. And this is going to cool you down. Easy. So we go and we steal the wife's pressure cooker. Okay? And we go and we drill into the lid and we put two gauges on. The one is a temp and the other one is a pressure. domestic. Okay, that takes me a week to bring you up to speed on domestic refrigeration. Okay, here is our domestic unit. This is what is on any household fridge. This is your compressor. Okay, we're going to explain, we're going to teach you about the compressor. This is the unit that goes on the back of the fridge. We call this a condenser. Okay, we will go through it. This is the inside cold plate. What we call, the correct name is evaporator. It's called a cold plate. It's the item that gets cold inside, generates your heat. We will be going through this. The second week is going to be commercial. Okay, here is a commercial unit. Okay, these commercial units is what you see in all the supermarkets, in all the factories, the bigger units. It's the fridges, the freezers, the wall freezers, all of that. That is all commercial refrigeration. Similar system, but different concepts. Okay, here's the compressor. This one is a very, very old compressor, but these used to be the king of the compressors in the day. Okay, here again is the condenser. Okay, here we have a receiver tank. Here's the dryer, and over here is the evaporator. It's normally got a fan here that will draw your cold away. Here we teach you how to pump down, how to gas up, how to repair, how not to waste gas, how to do things properly. All the students want to do air conditioning. That being said, air conditioning module is right at the end of the commercial. And it's just an entertaining talk because you know already what it is. It's just telling you the ins and outs and the bewares and all the rest of it. Once you've done the commercial, you can do virtually anything. Back to our courses, refrigeration school. The first week, domestic. Second week, commercial. You can do the domestic course without doing the commercial. You can actually make a good living doing domestic fridges. You can make a good income any which way you want doing domestic fridges. But either one of these courses, you need the tools, etc. to do it. We prefer that you bring your own tools. Okay? It makes no sense to do a refrigeration school training course and not have the tools and not have the ability to go out and start earning money, start fixing fridges. If you can't afford it, because believe me, tools are expensive. Okay? If you can't afford it, we will hire you tools out. If you want to come on the course and get tools later, also not a problem. You can get them hired out.